How's it going, guys? It's Jake Brend in the Northwest Bank Studios with your Cyclone Fanatic daily update on a Monday. Over the next 2 weeks at CycloneFanatic.com, we will be breaking down the 2025 Iowa State football team position group by position group. And we start on this Monday with the most important of them all. It's the quarterback spot. And we've talked plenty about what Rocco Becks has to do better this season. The completion percentage and the pick sixes just have to be better. We all know that. And a lot of this is probably my fault in some of the negative talk towards Rocco, but I just want to recognize how good he's been in his 2 years as the starter. Ever since Iowa State reinvented their offense after that Ohio game in 2023, ISU was 17-7 with Rocco as the starting QB with a TD to interception ratio of 44-13. He's also run for 11 touchdowns and hasn't lost a fumble. Whether it's his big arm, the ability to evade pressure, or the way that he shows up every time, seemingly every single time with the game on the line, Rocco Becks has been a really, really good quarterback for the Cyclones. But what's at stake for him in 2025? I think he's pretty clearly cemented himself as a top 5 quarterback in school history. He's pretty much accomplished what only one other guy has done, and that's Brock Purdy. Rocco has taken Iowa State to Dallas. Rocco has won 11 games. His achievements as the starting quarterback are second to only Purdy. But the numbers, that's where they can improve. Is this the year where his numbers take that leap to elite? Because he's had good numbers. I'd even say great numbers in 2023. He took a bit of a step back in his second year starting. If he was able to get those numbers up towards the upper 60s for completion percentage, if he's able to bring in Chase Sewell and Xavier Townsend and have this year's offense just as good or pretty close to last year's without 2 NFL wide receivers, I think that would do so much to cement his legacy, not only as a Cyclone, but it could do a ton for his future as a pro. All that I know is I've got full trust in what Rocco Becks is going to do under center in 2025, whether it's with his arm, with his legs, or with that leadership ability and the ability to show up in crunch time. Rocco is the man for 2025. The NBA Summer League is off and running out in Las Vegas, and Kurt Jones is off to a pretty good start for Denver. Coming off of the bench through 2 games, he's averaging 9 points, 2 rebounds, and 3.5 assists per game. He's taken some time running the bench unit for Denver, kind of as the primary guard, which I don't really think is what his role should be or will be if he's able to crack an NBA rotation one day. Jones has excelled in the stints where he's playing off ball and taking heat checks. Really similar to what we saw in his time at Iowa State. Denver is back in action on Tuesday against Toronto. Hason Ward has gotten some good run for Oklahoma City, averaging 7 points and 3.5 rebounds per game. Meanwhile, Keyshawn Gilbert, Isaiah Brockington, and Solomon Young all on rosters, but none of them have seen the court yet for their respective teams. This Thursday, Paul Shirley is teaming up with our own Chris Williams for a book release party in Ames at Sweet Carolines at 6 o'clock. The most philosophical former Iowa State player of all time is back with another book. This one is called The Art of Focused Work. It's certainly a skill that everyone can get better at. Shirley went on Iowa Everywhere's CW pod a couple weeks ago and talked about the information overload that we have in 2025.
We've kind of given ourselves like informational diabetes. So in the same way that it used to be sugar, good, meant fruit is ripe. I eat the fruit, I get nutrition. That fruit is also rare, so I don't have to worry about like eating too much sugar. Then we start refining sugar, and lo and behold, diabetes comes on the scene, right? So does heart disease, so does obesity, etc. It's kind of the same with information. Historically, it was scarce, so we would always say the more information we can get, the better. Now we have so much of it that we can't really manage it. And so the idea, the central thought is, how do we figure out ways to first address that this is difficult without guilt and shame, and then build systems so that we can focus and do this stuff that's important to us, whether that stuff is, like you said, making a free throw, writing a book, writing a business proposal. It could be sending that good email to a boss. It could be even as simple as, I want to sit down with my wife and have a really present conversation over dinner, right? Like it's not just work stuff, although I talk more about that. It's also, how do we do this in our day to day? How do I carve out time to read a book that I really want to read, listen to an album, whatever it is, like get rid of some of this temptation that's coming at me at all times.
Good stuff as always there from Shirley. Again, that event starts at 6 o'clock in Ames at Sweet Carolines on Thursday night. There, you can buy your book, you can get it signed from Shirley, take a picture, and then at 7:30, the programming with Paul and Chris will start. They'll talk all things Cyclone basketball from the early 2000s, and then Shirley will give a bit of a lecture from his book. It'll be good stuff. You won't want to miss it. Again, that is a free event, Thursday night at 6 o'clock. Thanks for tuning in to today's Cyclone Fanatic Daily Update.